Just a couple of years ago, I had a very different relationship with consuming content in various forms, whether that is reading books, mangas and comics, watching stuff like films and TV series, animes, and so on, and also, playing games. It's been a while since, I stopped actually playing video games, and especially playing online video games. I still do and use them as temporary distractions, but not as I did before. And that's because a couple of years ago, I didn't see them as distractions. I was more able to enjoy my time reading a book and playing a video game without, thinking too much about what was I doing. I didn't have guilt around it. I just did the thing and enjoyed myself. But as time passed, and this is especially true with animes, like nowadays, I just can't watch animes anymore. I just feel like I'm wasting time. I feel like I'm just blinding myself to the reality. I'm just, limiting my potential in the sense that I'm limiting what I should be doing, or I'm limiting my ability to see what's wrong with what I'm doing and what should I be doing and what's probably better for me, and what would I enjoy doing as a job, as a career, what activities do I enjoy more doing, and so on. And this has been ever more prevalent as my university, let's say, career was ending and was coming to an end. As year went by, I started to try new things. For example, this YouTube project was basically derived basically from that anxiety of, I had stuff I liked to do. I was studying something I didn't actually enjoy. And as time passed, I was seeing that I had less and less time to waste and to do other stuff, basically. That was what propelled me to try stuff. I still continued to, distract myself, watching stuff, reading stuff, playing games. But, I always had that thought of, the anxiety about the future, about where my life was heading. But I still wasn't necessarily, let's say, an adult about it. I mean, I was always, wasting time. I was always doing other stuff. And this isn't something that's objective. Like, I'm objectively wasting time. It's more so like how I feel about that activity, more so than the activity itself. I was having a hard time to do those things and enjoying myself, because I felt like I was limiting my potential future happiness. Basically, I was limiting what I enjoyed doing. I was limiting my ability to, let's say, discover what I like to do, and I was just blindlessly following a path that I didn't felt like was a path for me. Basically, that was the reality. And in fact, like now, especially with animes, I just feel like if I watch an anime, I'm just, throwing away time. And for the love of me, I can't watch animes. Playing games is a bit different. I mean, I just still don't do it. Like, generally, I don't play games as much. Like, I'm playing these games now to make videos and sort of to use them as a tool to make content and to build this online thing and to experiment. And I was doing the same thing with books and animes and mangas and whatever. I was, slowly going away from the, just enjoying something and more towards like, how can I use this to my advantage? How can I use this to create something, to build something? You're wasting time if you're just enjoying yourself. And maybe, in 5-10 years, and that's like the reason I created the thumbnail the way it is, I will probably like start to enjoy them again once I feel like I've found something I like to do. I feel more stable about what I'm doing, about my life. But at the moment, it's very hard to enjoy those things. I just feel like I'm wasting time. I feel like I'm just spinning my wheels in an endless way, or in a non-productive way, in terms of like to create something I may enjoy doing. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I mean, it's probably a good thing to have that way of thinking. I mean, it forces you to do stuff and to build stuff and to experiment. And probably this is, I feel this more now because I have to start working. Reality is kicking in that I'm doing something I don't enjoy particularly. So it's like the bomb is ticking. I don't have that much time to experiment. I have to make decisions. I know this is always, very stupid in a way, because, you can always experiment. I'm still young. I can try different things. I mean, I am not locked in this career, but when you've studied a lot, spent all of your time doing something and pursuing something, it's hard to understand what else you could do. like you feel like there are no options, and that's stupid. Obviously, I have to at the moment. I have to try stuff. I have to see what I like, what I don't like. I have to work. I have to experiment. At the moment, I'm at the worst time because I didn't try stuff. I haven't had the time to experiment. I finished studying, so like the possibilities of there being something I would like while studying is a bit gone now, because like I studied, I finished my school, my what I had to do. So it's like, I have to just start working, and you don't have that, let's say, possibility to find something that's new that you will enjoy in that specific career path. Obviously, I'm maybe being a bit too dramatic, but maybe not necessarily, because it is probably true in a way. I saw what I need to see, and what I'm doing doesn't seem as interesting. I don't enjoy it particularly. And so in a way, this career path seems not right for me. So now I'm like, I feel like I need to use that time in a more creative way, and I'm just wasting time if I'm not doing it. But it feels hard, especially when you feel like you just hit a wall and you're just making mistakes, like you're just putting yourself in worse positions because you don't know what you want to do. So you're losing opportunities because you don't know what you want to do, and you're just delaying the choice, and you're just delaying, doing something you don't like. You're just delaying even just making experiences to see if what you're doing, you will actually enjoy doing it. Hey, I just feel like I'm just burying myself in my own hands. I'm just losing time and losing years of my life. And so, yeah, all this to say that it's been hard for me to enjoy, a simple anime, at night, or a manga or something. I'm always seeing like my free time as a way to create something in an area that I will probably enjoy, something I feel as part of myself, and not just something I have to do because that's the correct path to do, or that's whatever everyone else is doing. And so, yeah, I sort of feel like your time now matters, and if you don't actively try to do stuff, stuff will not, resolve itself, will not settle by itself. So I'm very, very anxious at the moment. I'm very unsure about the future, about where my life is heading, doing something I don't like, and just slaving away in a job I don't enjoy. So I want to make intelligent choices that at least are able to give me a bit of freedom in the future, and not need to necessarily work a lot or slave away. So make some choices that give me more autonomy. But also, I just feel like this path is like not the right one, and there aren't other paths that I would like to pursue. So it's like either you do this and you find something interesting in it, or that's it, or you create something for yourself. And that's, one can try, and but it's obviously it's hard to do. It's not necessarily something that's obvious. So that's where I'm at now. So without a clue about what I want to do, feeling like wasting time and wasting my life. I could be doing more stuff. I could be, I have to experiment stuff, or I need to accept that life is this way. Like when you understand you have to work, and maybe you didn't find something you enjoy, it's obviously hard because you hit a brick wall. And especially when you study a lot and, spend money doing that thing, it's like you don't see other opportunities around you. Like everything seems like you can waste what you did, and if you do some other thing, you may also not enjoy that thing as well. So that's what I'm going through at the moment. And obviously also because I feel like I'm just wasting time due to my own security. I did medical school and I have to choose a residency. I'm not US based, and I had a good score, but I just, wasted it because I didn't know what to do. I changed the idea of what I wanted to do. So like all the good spots and stuff that now maybe looking back I wanted to do and seemed like fun to do are not available. So I have to spend another year like studying again for the test, and maybe doing a job I don't enjoy. Also because I'm not someone that has a lot of dreams. I don't dream big. I like to have few stuff and to be content where I'm at. And that's sometimes a problem because like when you see people that are very objective focused, they seem to be always doing something, and they seem to always be in the right path, if that makes sense. They're always going towards something. They seem like they're not questioning themselves. They always seem sure about their career path. And maybe that's what they are. They are actually sure about it, and they don't, question themselves as much. And maybe even if they are unsure, they don't just have that genetic, let's say, imprint that makes them think about and ruminate about the various possibilities, and like feel like you never can enjoy what you're doing. I envy a lot of these people. Like they just seem to do stuff and without a care in the world. They just think about something, they make a choice, and they follow that choice, and that's it. And even in a pragmatic way, like I studied this because my parents did this, or this seemed like the best thing to do, and they accept their faith, they accept their path, and they seem happier. They seem like they know what they're doing. They don't have the same anxiety I have. They don't make the same mistakes I do. They don't waste as much time as I do because I don't know what I want to do. So they seem like they're more focused. They're going through life in a more structured way. Like they seem like they're always in the right path, and they're not wasting time, and you're always sure about what they're doing. And I'm like the complete opposite of this. So I just feel always in the wrong place. I just feel always like I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I shouldn't be following like what the normal status quo tells me. But also, I don't know where to put myself. I don't know where I belong. I don't know what I should do. Obviously, because some things are a bit a necessity, like working. Like you need to have a job, you need to make an income. So it's very hard to say like, oh, I don't want to work. You have to find a way to make it work. I mean, you have to find a way to put yourself in a position to do something you enjoy, basically. There are some absolutes in a way. You can't just always do what you want to do. But at the same time, like there are some people that seem to better accept that in a way. They just, accept it as a reality, and then they just go forward. Like for me, it's like that's sort of a life or death situation. It's like a very existentially charged, question. I just feel like my life is at stake, my entire existence, my future. If I do this, I won't be happy. I am just, wasting my time and so on. So it's like, it's very different. It's very different, but like some people seem just to do stuff, and they don't seem to worry as much. Like maybe they might say that they don't like what they're doing, but they just continue, and they're able, maybe it's just experience. Like once you've done it, you accept, maybe it's just an acceptance thing. Like once you've accepted that faith, you just do it without without too much problems, without second guessing yourself. You just accept it as it is, and you're better able to cope with it. So maybe that's just reality kicking in. It's like you have to work now. Too bad you didn't find something you enjoy doing. Welcome. And even if you could say that a lot of people don't like what they're doing, I sometimes feel like some people are able to find other ways to make it work. Like maybe they like the, let's say they like the status that comes with a job. They like the social validation that comes with a job. Like they're able to find something, maybe the money. The problem I have is like, for me, those things don't matter like at all. So it's like, should I make them matter? Should I sort of, hijack my natural way of thinking to sort of be more like a normal person? Like, think about making money, think about saving, and just chugging away, doing something I don't like, and keeping myself in a way alive, doing personal projects and little creative stuff and so on. And maybe one day I will be able to find an answer to that problem, or I will be able to do something I like. I will be less miserable. It's like, I don't know, I have no clue. So all this started with talking about not enjoying distraction and taking time off to do stuff. And obviously these things are all tied. So I feel like I'm just wasting time if I'm watching a film or reading a book. I should be making experiences. Like if you don't actively try to change something, you will just remain there. Like, or you have to be very lucky, and stuff will happen to you. But that's very few cases that will happen. So if you want to have more possibility of success, you have to do something. You have to actively try to build what you want to do. Obviously, it's not all bad. I mean, you can use that as fuel to do other stuff, but also would like to find something at least I enjoy somewhat in what I'm doing. I just maybe have to, like, there's part of me that thinks about making a choice that's all about autonomy and working the least amount of hours. And there's part of me that's like, try to find something you enjoy, because otherwise you'll be miserable. You have to at least enjoy what you're doing. And I don't know what's the answer. I just don't have a lot of information at the moment. I need to make a choice, that's for sure. I need to make, like right now I would like to take a sabbatical, but I just feel like, I should start residency. I should start, even if I don't feel like I'm doing the right thing. I should make experiences, try new stuff, and then make a more informed decision and not just follow, like blindly go forward. You're just like pressing W on a keyboard and just going forward without thinking about it. And but also I'm scared that if I stop, I will lose opportunities, and the train will pass, and I will just have lost that chance. I feel trapped in a lot of ways. Like, you have to be more active. That's probably a thing. Like, because if you just accept it passively, like, oh, this is what life is now, you're always going to feel like you're doomed. Like, that's what will happen to you. You can't change stuff. But being a bit more active, trying to do stuff, trying to at least maybe it's futile. Maybe it's just futile, and you're just trying to build projects that will never flourish, and it's just a way to better deal with your present. I don't know. I just feel like I'm making wrong choices based on lack of information. For me, lack of information is something I struggle with, because I need to have information, or else I don't know what to do. Like, I have friends that are able to just do stuff because it seems like the right thing to do, and they just make a plan and you just follow that plan through. And I've always envied these people, because I'm the complete opposite. I have to be always sure that what I'm doing will bring me something specific. I have to know like what I'm doing will bring, like what my future will be. I always have to have stuff figured out. And I envy people that seem like genetically they just don't think that way. They just make a sort of informed choice, and they just roll with it and just go forward with it. For me, it's the opposite. And that's something that makes you lose years and time, because if you don't have a guide, someone even in your family or in general that can help you make a better choice and at least guide you, you will just make mistakes and lose years. And at least for me, it's always hard to like see people that maybe are better off because like they had more information than me. They had better social circles and more information in their family. They were better able to make an informed decision, and they seem to not waste time. Just don't think about it too much. They just do something, maybe follow their parents and what they did, and maybe follow what society wants, what they should do. They just feel like they seem like they're happy. They seem like they're not like me, always constantly second guessing myself, always an inch away from having an existential crisis. They feel like they have most stuff figured out. And maybe they're not, happy as I think. Maybe they're just, following stuff and, being yourself and try to do what you like is probably better in the long run. But that's just something I can tell myself because it's sort of a warm blanket, because it doesn't feel that way, certainly. I've always been envious of people that are able to just enjoy the simple things. Like maybe they do a job that they don't like, but they will enjoy going out with their friends. They will enjoy, a cigarette. They will enjoy, a coffee. I always find like I have to be doing what I was built for, if that makes sense. Like what my destiny quotes is. Like being authentic, whatever that means, was always important to me. I always find I find it hard to do stuff just to do it. I'm not interested in in money and status. I'm not interested in pleasing people, doing what is the right thing to do. I sometimes just envy like a simple life, like the ones like my grandparents had. I live in a very small like town, not very, let's say, rich, and a lot of the older folks were farmers basically, or they did like more manual labor or stuff like that. But they had like a sense of community. They felt part of something. They like nowadays you're like, oh, be a doctor. It's like, yeah, you have status, but then you're by yourself. You don't enjoy what you're doing. You don't feel part of a community. You just feel like you're slaving away an entity, a corporation. When I say that, people think that I'm crazy. Like, oh, I wish I was like a farmer. I wish I was born a couple of decades ago, and just remain in my little town, not know much about what's going on outside, just do my thing. And you know everyone around there, everyone knows you have a specific role, there aren't expectations. And sometimes maybe obviously parents may have a role in this, because they may think like, oh, you have to do better than I did and you have to study and so on, because they think that what they did isn't what they should be doing. They're influenced by what they think you should be doing. But that doesn't mean that thing is necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you should let your child decide by himself, ideally. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I just feel like sometimes you feel like you have to follow a path just because, without actually understanding if that's what you want to do. You're just doing it just because, basically. And I know that this isn't true, but sometimes it feels like when you didn't have a lot of choice about what you wanted to do or a lot of possibilities or expectations, I don't know, maybe you accepted better your faith. You just, did what you had to do. Maybe you were happier, at least less existentially troubled. I don't know. Or maybe they were, but they couldn't change their circumstances. So I'm probably just fantasizing and romanticizing some aspects of other people's lives. Maybe it's just like finding yourself is a long and hard thing. You cannot do it. I mean, you could just follow what you have to do and just follow what life gave you, or better, just do what the circumstances gave you. Just follow what's in front of you. Or if you want challenge yourself and maybe obtain a better end goal, but you have to fight for it. So it's like, do you want to do something you enjoy, but you have to pay for it, and basically you have to work for it. There's no getting around that. So it's like, yeah, you could follow the status quo, but you will be unhappy. Some people maybe have a higher thresholds of tolerance, so they're able to just do what they're doing and go forward. And other people maybe are not meant to do that, and so they will inevitably struggle a bit more. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to justify my present moment and sort of justify why other people seem so secure with their choices. They seem like they're doing the right thing, and I'm always constantly completely lost. I mean, I know that I'm lost because I don't have the experience. So that's, in a way, I rationally know that I have to do stuff. I have to start working. I have to, get a job. And by that, I will have at least a starting point to go from. The problem with medicine is it's sort of, you feel like you have to only do that. It's like, you've done this, you can only choose other specialties, and that's it. Like, you have to remain in medicine. So it's like, should I do something that gives me autonomy that I don't like, but it's a specialty that at least enables me to not work a lot, to be my own boss, and sort of try to work on my passions, and my passions in quotations, but my interests, and do what I feel like is probably better for me or in the free time? Or should I just try to do something I like in medicine? And this could be any job for you, obviously. Like, should you make a choice that's more based on interest rather than what seems like the good thing you should do, like the right thing you should do? Because I enjoy making these videos, but I also know that they aren't like normal videos, in the sense that, like, I don't have a specific thing or ability that I'm using to make videos. I'm just talking about life and personal struggles and how I think about specific stuff. So life itself fuels these videos in a way. It's not like I'm a pianist and I'm making videos about how to make music and selling music sheets and so on. So there isn't this organic follow through with your job and what you're doing here. And this channel may go nowhere from a financial standpoint, but even worse from a personal interest standpoint. Like, maybe one day I will just not enjoy it as much to talk about these things. I will just find it to be useless, or I will not enjoy it as much. And after that, what remains is just your job. So it's like you don't have your safety net in a way. That this thing is a bit of a personal safety net, as maybe stupid or as frivolous as it may seem. It sort of keeps you grounded to reality. It's like, if everything goes wrong, at least I'm working towards this thing. I'm doing something I enjoy and I can be happy doing. But if that is no longer there, it's like, what's left? You're just left with your job. And that's the reality for a lot of people. A lot of people are doing stuff that they don't like, and they just go through the motions and try to, in their spare time, create a life they want to live. And it's obviously hard because maybe you understand that you don't have the ability to do that. Maybe you're not born with the capabilities to do that. Maybe you're just a regular dude, and that's it. That's what life is for you. Like, one day you will just understand that that's the cards that you were dealt, and that's it. Basically, there you can move. And because even people are able to create personal fulfillment or secondary path. Maybe they have a bit of they're lucky, but also in the sense of the circumstances, but even in the sense of they're lucky about what their capabilities are and what they're able to do, and their maybe their intelligence, maybe their tone of voice, maybe they're charismatic. So it's there's a lot of stuff that we don't choose. Obviously, you can choose to do stuff. You can choose to be active and do something, or you can choose to not do something. So it's at least you have the the possibility to do something and to choose and to act is the thing you have. You can change your traits, the card you're dealt, but you can play the card, at least see where it brings you. But it certainly is can be very frustrating. I'm probably more lucky than other people in the sense that I can do a job that at least maybe pays me well, and maybe try to create a life that I enjoy, create a circumstance that I like. Some people just have a regular 9 to 5 job without much future prospects, even though I don't know if I have a lot of future prospects at the moment. But it's like, do you choose based on just pragmatic reasons, or do you try to do something you enjoy? So for me, is this side, let's call it side business, I don't see it as that, but is this thing I'm doing, is it going to work? So can I just go all in on it and do a job that's very boring, but I know that this will be my focus, or creating stuff is my focus and is where I feel more more myself, and more like I'm doing something more in tune with who I am, and with what I like doing. Or that's just life for me. It's like, you'll do something that you don't like, and basically that's it. And that's all I wanted to say. So see you in the next video.